Welcome to Really Rahaf, the podcast for coaches and creators who want to build luxury brands without burning out. I'm Rahaf, business energetics coach, PhD student, and sponsored skateboarder. I went from serving tables and hustling every client to building six-figure systems and offers that sell in my sleep. Here we talk all things raw when it comes to business strategy, nervous system regulation, and stepping into your goddess frequency with tangible, actionable steps to help you scale to consistent 10K plus months. If you're here, you know freedom is your birthright. Let's get into it. Hello, welcome to the Really Rahaf podcast. I'm so happy you're here. If you're listening on launch day, Really Rahaf is born today. Welcome. We are throwing a massive birthday party at the beach in LA right now, and everybody I know, everybody I care about, everybody I love, whether you're at the beach with me or you're listening on the drive home, I'm so happy you're here. 2 years ago, I can't believe it, not even 2 years ago, I was a burnt out server. I was living paycheck to paycheck, open to close, working long shifts, and barely keeping up with my life. I was living in cognitive dissonance from the moment I woke up because I knew that the highest version of me, I wasn't making decisions from that mindset on a daily basis. I was working for someone else's definition of success. I wasn't locked into my purpose. I was coasting. I was on autopilot. I was paying the bills. I was working to live and living to work. And that's not what I value. So today I run a spacious business that supports my freedom, supports my values. It pays me abundantly with soul clients. It lets me skate at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. It allowed me to bring in my partner, my soulmate, into my business where we are scaling it to 1 million together. And in this episode, I'm going to walk you through my timeline and show you exactly how I made that leap from burnout to spaciousness so you can start to see how possible this is for you too. And if you don't already know me, hi, I'm Rahaf. I am a high-ticket business coach. I'm a PhD student studying global leadership and change. I am a sponsored skateboarder in LA, and I'm a Reiki master. I help coaches who are plateaued at those 5K months, working client by client with no real structure, no real container, cannot witness a transformation, and trading their time for money, even as a business owner. And it's so easy to fall into that mindset. So I help them create this freedom-based business model that allows them to go into each month, not starting from scratch. I help them build back-end systems and automations where they're not manually writing all their emails. They're not live launching every month. I've also helped coaches from ground zero where they don't even know they want to be a coach yet. They are building their business from the ground up. And within 60 to 90 days, you should see them going from 50 followers to over 11,000, from zero clients, zero business to signing high-ticket clients in less than 60 to 90 days. I mean, to witness a transformation like that. And I didn't come from money. I built Really Rahaf from the ground up, and I made my first 100K on social media in the first 12 months of my business. And I'm here to show you that all you need is the right strategy, the energetics, the nervous system to hold it, and a spacious business model that actually sustains you, that actually gives you life. How else am I going to show up for all of these identities that are such a big part of who I am if I didn't have energy overflowing throughout the day? And we can take it back in time. I don't know if you know this about me, but I was actually born in Jordan. So I'm an immigrant to this country. I moved to Columbus, Ohio when I was 3, and I actually moved to LA 11 years ago, almost. And I always knew California was where my soul is, where my heart is. I couldn't do those Ohio winters. I couldn't do the settling down after high school, college. That's not the life that I wanted to live. I moved out to California working for a restaurant company that opened up a location in Beverly Hills. So the restaurant industry brought me out here. I opened up the restaurant, and that was my job security. That was my ticket to LA. And I was in that industry for a very long time, even here in LA, 10 years being in the restaurant industry. You wake up, you work at 2, so it feels like your whole day is gone. You can't really do anything from
9 a.m. to 2 p.m. because you're just thinking about how you have to work later. It's just looming. So it was very hard for me to wake up and go skate knowing that I only had this time. It was a weird mental block. And I was constantly exhausted, constantly on a thread. And when you work in the restaurant industry, it really becomes your entire life. It's all you hang out with. It's all you see. You work, you get off work, you go to the bar, you close it down, you wake up and you repeat. And there was no time, no energy, no space for my creativity, for my spiritual growth, for me to keep promises with myself, because every day I felt like I was disappointing myself. And eventually I had to take that leap. So I got my master's in psychology here in California. I became a graduate school professor teaching multicultural counseling, and it would have been very easy for me to take the traditional route and become a therapist. But that would have been an easy box to put myself in. That wasn't the kind of room that I wanted to build with my clients. It was close, but I don't do close. I don't settle. I don't do backup plans. I go all in on my intuition, and I make my decisions from that place. So I became a coach. So on March 2021, I went to La Puente Skate Park, and the real butterfly effect is, what if I didn't go that night? Because that night changed the entire course of my life. I met my life coach and Mike on the same night, two of the most important people in my life. If it wasn't for the work that I did with my coach, I would have never become the person I needed to be, to not only have a business, but to be the person I needed to be in a healthy relationship with Mike. Becoming a business owner, we don't realize it's attachment style work, especially with social media. Your attachment style and the way that you see relationships and the way you see the world, we need the secure attachment style. We need to embody what that feels like, because if we are going through life as a business owner with an anxious attachment style, well, guess how we're going to see social media? Social media is a relationship. And when someone's not liking our stuff, or we're not getting the validation, or a post isn't doing well, or we're not getting the views we want, that's attachment style. We're making meaning out of it. We're adding a story instead of stepping into that secure identity. So the work that I did with my coach, that I continue to do 4 years later with her in my corner, is the reason I am here talking to you, because every day I get to take action based on my intuition, and I have a third-party perspective of someone who sees me, who holds the mirror, so that I can take that aligned action. And that's what this led to. I was able to go back to school and get my PhD and have my dissertation be everything I'm already doing in my business. There isn't a lot of shifting between the different identities. They all pair together really well. And now that Mike is in my business with me, we get to go skate, take a break, have a business meeting, go to San Diego on a whim, bring Chippy. This is the life that I always wanted for myself, and we both have the freedom to be able to do that. And I did that by scaling. That first 100K, it was hustle. I don't think you can get through that first 100K without hustle, but you get to a point where you get to put systems in the background. Email sequences. I stopped live launching my workshops every month. I put them in an evergreen funnel. I started letting my time work for me. And before I knew it, time and energy were so much more valuable to me than money, because you can make more money. I can build an offer, I can get creative, I can bring in clients, but I can't get my time back. I can't get my energy back. So it's being very strategic and auditing my time. And that's what really helped me get into this next level of Rahaf 3.0, scaling her business. I invest in sales programs and copywriter programs and everything in between to learn advanced skills and to teach them on everything I'm learning in school. So there is no wasted time, wasted resources. Everything is funneling into my business, and I get to wake up with this feeling. So how did I do this? How did I go from ground zero, moving here, building my business, and believing that it's possible every single day? Well, I'm going to take you through 3 tangible shifts that you can do right now that helped me step into this identity, because Not all business coaches, in fact, it's very rare that a business coach will really amplify the nervous system regulation to making it all possible, to looking past resources. Because a lot of you are going to think, oh, she must have had a lot of money. She's investing in 10K programs, 10K coaches. No, honey. These investments, it is not about the resources. It is not about being ready. It is about taking action, because clarity only comes from action. Confidence only comes from action. I had $60 in my account when I invested in a $10,000 program, and I made that money back because I bet on myself. So I don't teach you how to make the resources to invest in yourself. I teach you how to become resourceful so that you can continue to show up for yourself, because the version of you that is creating these high ticket offers, the ultimate integrity is to be the woman who believes that it's possible for you to invest that into yourself too. So nervous system regulation and stepping into that identity, that's going to be step one. First of all, can we get crystal clear on who that version of you is? Can you start walking around the world like you make 20K a month? What does your body look like for one full week? Can you start at this energetic level? I started walking like her before I became her. Make believe until you believe. This is not faking it until you make it. Make believing gives you this childlike fun space and play where you get to play games with yourself and to really personify that version of you and to bring her into this timeline now. So I bring in a lot of quantum mechanics into the business world. And it starts with the nervous system regulation. So it's first auditing, what is your voice of the level? What is the voice of your nervous system saying to you right now? Maybe it's saying it's unsafe to move slow. What is it saying to you? What is keeping you in the cycle that you're in right now? And can you find a counter affirmation that every time that voice comes up, you are shifting into it? This is the holy grail of my nervous system techniques that I pass on to all my clients, all of my students, because from there, then we can build strategy. So the next thing is building those back-end systems. Where can you start to automate your life? Where can you start to automate your content strategy, your funnels, your emails? We should not be sending manual emails to every client you sign. Absolutely not. We are putting that in a sequence. We are bringing in help. We are hiring a VA. I'm about to hire my third team member because our time and energy is so much more valuable. I want to wear the coach hat. The people in my life deserve to see me in the coach hat. So where can you start bringing in some systems? ManyChat is a huge one. When you're bringing people into a trust funnel on social media so that they get to see you in your magic, we are automating that. We are bringing them in from ManyChat to an automated DM, and they are coming into your email funnel. And then from there, they are getting a sequence of emails to a time-sensitive offer. That's an example of a trust funnel, a back-end system. And the neuroscience behind the identity of the version of you that feels safe automating, it's going to feel weird. It's going to feel like something is wrong. We live in a very masculine, heavy productivity system. We trade our time for money, or we used to if we're still in the system. If we're in this matrix where we're trading our time for money, it's making a decision to get out of the hamster wheel. And to do that, it's going to feel like something is wrong. Your nervous system is going to want to sabotage, create fights to get you on that fire frequency where everything feels like it's cortisol pumping on fire. Your business is on fire. You got to respond. You got to be reactive. So it's really a lot of deprogramming and stepping into that feminine energy and being strategic with how much masculine energy you want to bring into your day. Because to build a soul-aligned business that is driven by your intuition, driven by your flow, we can't be go, go, go all the time or else it won't come in. And I teach a lot of women how to cycle sync their business to their cycle so that you're not hustling through luteal phase. And I'm going to be super transparent. I'm in my luteal phase filming this right now, 2 weeks before my birthday. And in the morning, the plan was to wake up, get myself a fun little bev, get my favorite chips, and sit and film my first episode. And it did not happen because I am peak luteal. I couldn't get through the flow. I kept having to stop, and I had to remind myself, words don't come easily in Ludio. They don't. And when you're trapping yourself to try and get something done, we're putting ourselves in a box that we never wanted to be in because we built our business so that we wouldn't be in this box. So the third thing is really knowing where you are in your cycle, knowing where you are in your environment, and not making meaning about why you feel a certain way. I must have done at least 50 takes this morning before I shut my laptop and I went straight beeline to the skate park. And I just let it all out. I skated for 3 hours. I came back and I gave myself permission. I said, I didn't even think I was going to come back and record this today. I came back, I got in bed, I cuddled with all 3 of my animals, and I turned on the TV. And then after a certain point, I paused it, came out here, and here I am speaking to you. This is evidence for you that when you don't push and try to make something work and it's not working, there's a reason why it's not working. So when I'm ever feeling glued to my laptop or pushing, I just close my laptop and I go skate, because that's not the energy I want radiating from this podcast episode, because that doesn't align with my values. That would take me back to being a server and waking up every day and doing something that doesn't align with my values. So it's really being in integrity with that. And that doesn't mean perfection. That doesn't mean being this perfect person who's embodying this. It's sharing it. Like, this is the whole fundamental reason why I wanted to create this podcast. For a very long time, I always knew a podcast was waiting for me, but I knew that there was a version of me that I still had yet to step into. And after a certain point, these past few weeks, I've been feeling very claustrophobic with short form content. I can't capture all these conversations. I can't show you the messy middle. I can't give you the behind the scenes. So I feel like I've graduated from short form content, and I'm so excited to be here and to really share with you the messiness of being a coach, of being an entrepreneur, and what I go through on a day-to-day that helps me work through my version of the limiting beliefs and your version of the limiting beliefs. And when you do the nervous system regulation, when you step into the systems and you start to feel the ease with slowing down and you start to cycle sync your business, well, then we sustain it. Then it's the consistency. So those were 3 little baby nuggets. I really want to give you a highlight of what we're going to be talking about in this podcast. Every week, we're going to be coming in here. Every Tuesday, I'll be launching a new episode, and I want to take you through the journey. I want to help you build a high-ticket coaching business wherever you are, from the ground up, whether you're stuck in the manifestation, quantum physics, whether you're stuck in the systems and the strategy and the automations. We're going to talk about it all. Hiring your team members, what it's like to work with your soulmate. Stay tuned for episode 3 because Mike is going to be a guest on there. And yeah, I'm not going to keep this super long. My goal here for these episodes is to give you nuggets, give you bite-sized nuggets, give you a transformation that you can experience from each episode. You'll have a chance to watch this on YouTube as well. So I am filming here with a camera, so you're able to see me, connect with my energy. And that's what we're going to be doing around here. So I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. If this episode sparked something in you, if you're sitting here thinking, I want this kind of shift, I don't know how to make it, your first step is watching my 60-minute free masterclass, Luxury Launch Lab. I did not hold back. So if you know me, you know I don't gatekeep. So if you want to step into this version of you that is building this high-ticket coaching business, I'll drop the link in the show notes. If you want to learn more about working with me at that level, you'll have an opportunity to. I have 1 spot left in 2025. It's so insane to say that. 2026 is going to be such a different business model. So I'm going to be sharing more with you about that. But this is going to be, that's it. This is our first episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Follow, subscribe so you can be updated with all the new episodes, and let's keep the party going. Love you, babe.
If this episode resonated with you in any way, if something clicked, expanded, or shifted for you, I'd love for you to share it and tag me on Instagram at Radiant Rahaf so I can celebrate your breakthroughs with you. And if you haven't already, subscribe and leave a 5-star review so more high-level coaches like you can find this space. Thank you for being a part of this community. I love you, and I'll see you next Tuesday.